Morning, friends. Today is the first day of the second phase of lockdown. After having completed the first phase very successfully, another 90 days, I'm sure it's just a cakewalk, and things will improve thereon. Because today, in my continuation of changing rules, I'll be, and I discussed yesterday, the first rule that is you might not have a disease that behavioral change can cure. Today I'm going to talk to you on the rule number 2, and that is the pick the right thing to change. Today I'll give my start my talk with giving example of the golf course. I'm missing that. In golf course, the entire game, the efficiency, the competency, the proficiency of the player is revolves around the 100-meter yards from the pin, where you actually put your soft muscles into action, all your hitting, chipping, scoffing of these sand traps, and putting are exercise there. Instead of wasting time on concentrating on and putting your long muscles into action from your tee off in a driving range from the tee off point, you hardly use not more than 10 to 14 strokes, and in a short game you use about 50 plus strokes. So you choose a good player, choose if he wants to win the game. If he wants to be a good player, he chooses to focus on short game. So today, taking the same analogy here, I feel that picking the right thing to change is a key factor in changing the rules in any institution or organization. What are the first thing I had to face always with the students or the audience or the clients, whatever you call, wherever I went for my talks, my training, is that I have to identify firstly the difference between miswanting and mischoosing. It's very subtle, my friend, but it is real. We get either a process wrong when the when we miswant or mischoose. I'll give you a small example of, let's say, suppose you want to buy a T-shirt for yourself. You go to the best showrooms in the city, and you can have there are hundreds of choices. You can select the T-shirt what you want to buy, maybe for its color, maybe for its warmth, maybe for its brand name. Maybe you want to put on the most expensive T-shirt to influence or impress others. Specific color, I just said it, or it's too unique, which no one else possesses. There can be 100 reasons you can find and choose. You have the choice to select the best what you want. But miswanting occurs when you take the T-shirt of your choice after considering everything, and after some time you discover that what you wanted did not make you happy, and this is where miswanting comes in, my friend. The choosing is slightly different from wanting. You have to be very clear and identify between these two words I said, miswanting and mischoosing. And same distinctions arises with people who decided to change for the better. Therefore, whenever I go for my this exercise of training or talking to people, I spend serious time with people, helping them to decide what they need to change themselves. My part remains only in suggesting and suggestions. If they decide for themselves what is exactly required to change at what where so that they become better, that is more effective. In fact, this is actually a lesson from a topic in a behavioral modification. It's a deep science. In behavioral modification, people study successful people so that they become further better. Or a case study, people in so details, and they realize that there has to be a certain amount of good qualities in a person. That's why it's so successful. And they focus on those they focus, narrow down their observations to those points where they still feel if that particular behavior is changed a bit or modified a bit, that person can become further better, honing of these skills. Successful people, my friends, by definition, are doing a lot of things right, but in their obsession, they develop a belief that whatever they do is always right. There where they have to take care. Successful people, my friend, they have a glaring tendency to overcome it. If you want something done right and fast, that's what I say. Give it to a busy person, because people those keep thinking, they keep analyzing, they keep choosing. I maintain that always, that giving people unlimited choices actually make them confuses them in nothing. Or flooding of information. He will be just keep on shunting between one option to another and waste time and reach nowhere. Your job as a coach, as a trainer, if you really want to see that your target section changes for better, you have to pick up the right thing to advise them for the change. Do not give too much of options. It is your job to focus and narrow down to one or two points which are going to make them effectively different. Take a simple exercise. I'll give you a small exercise before I wrap up my talk on pick up the right thing to change. If you have been asked to train a person for better, or guide him or her, carry on this exercise. Basically you're going as a coach, and when you take all the feedbacks, all the documents available to know about the person on which you are going to work upon, and you come to a conclusion, small, write it down, that the 10% of co-worker say that that person is a bad listener, he doesn't listen. 10% of his colleagues and co-workers, they feel that he doesn't share information with anybody, he keep it to himself or herself. The 20% of person says that this person, he is bad at meeting deadlines. He doesn't care for deadlines and extends the time and takes things little lightly or casual. 20% of feel this. Then there are good about 40% of people, they feel that this person, target person, he wastes too much of time gossiping around, talking non-essentials, carrying tales. And 80% of person, when you do this survey, feel that that person gets angry very fast. He is a short-tempered person. Now, as a coach, when you get this statistics clear about the person, if I am there, I will focus only on one part first, and that is this is anger management. Because 80% of person feel that he loses his temper very fast. He starts throwing tantrums. He gets angry very fast. If I am a bad trainer and I am not able to get my wits together, I will start focusing on the 10% of workers' observation that he doesn't listen. I keep advising you better start listening. Or those 10% who say he doesn't share information. No, I will ignore all these things and focus on the most important part, and that is that 80% of core worker feels that he gets angry, he loses his temper. So I'll choose to advise and correct him anger management so that he's stable, balanced, comfortable, cool. And once this 80% of factor, his anger is kept in control and check, and he changes to become more balanced, the rest everything automatically takes care of, my friend. Rule number 2, remember, pick the right thing to change on anyone you are working with. Thank you very much.